Hello everyone. So as you can see from this sign, I'm here on a somewhat chilly afternoon on Judd's Creek Road, and I'm going to be hiking into Billy Brown Falls, which is a waterfall that I've been to once over 6 years ago, actually around the time I first started my YouTube channel, although I didn't make a video of this hike. I've sort of been reluctant to come back since because the road to get here is horrible. But today I thought, screw it, I've got the Forester with me, which is theoretically an all-wheel drive. Surely it can't be too hard. The road was awful, I will never come back here. Huge potholes, rocky, corrugated, rivers running through it at some stages. I think I would only ever come back in a proper four-wheel drive. But the walk isn't too difficult from memory. It's signed as an hour and a half return, but it took me about half that from memory last time. Pretty much, initially we climb up a bit, as we already have been, as you can hear from my panting, and then sort of round the side of the hill and descend down to the falls, which are a pretty nice large waterfall. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing them again for the first time in a long time. But I'll see you a bit further along. So still climbing up from the car park. According to my topo maps, it's about a 120 metre climb, and it's in a pretty short distance, so it's fairly steep. And yeah, I've already done a hike earlier today, so I'm kind of blowing on this one. The forest is nothing especially pretty or anything, kind of just looks like regrowth stuff, but it's all a means to an end really for the falls. Well, we've reached the high point of the hike, as marked by this very helpful bench. It also happens to be pretty much the halfway between the car park and the falls, which tells me that I was pretty much right with my estimation of time. It's taken me just over 10 minutes to get here, and presumably it'll be faster going down. So you can only assume the hour and a half return is for people who are going to take an extremely long time walking up that hill, which is understandable if you're of limited mobility because it is pretty steep. But we're kind of just ascending now into this rainforest, and from memory the trail gets a bit rockier from here and skirts around the edge of the hill to the falls. So I'll see you next time I find something interesting. That is a big old tree. Really towers above everything else around here. So we've started sort of skirting around the side of this hill, and it's, as I mentioned before, it's got a bit rocky, the trail. There's some obstructed views down into the valley, and you can definitely hear either the creek or the falls, I'm not quite sure, but it's really flowing well, that's for sure, because it has been raining the last couple of days. Can't imagine we're too far off it now. Well, I've made it to the very impressive Billy Brown Falls. It's about maybe 30 metres high, maybe a touch less. Very unusually shaped falls. I'll give you a look of it now. As you can kind of see, it really fans out from that top point up there in almost like an inverted cone shape. And then the creek keeps cascading on down further down there. I actually have to be at work in Hulmeville in an hour and a half, so after I take some photos I'm probably just going to dash off. So I'll end the video here, but the sign at the start of the walk, hour and a half return, can't imagine anyone would take that long. I think it's probably more of an hour return, but if you give yourself plenty of time to enjoy the falls, you can easily take an hour and a half here. But yeah, it's definitely worth visiting. As I said, it's pretty high flow today. In summer it's a bit more of a trickle, but it's still worth a visit any time of the year. But yeah, this is Billy Brown Falls, and I've wrapped up the video with some closer video footage.